Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan.
And he'll be full-time Pujari here in Atlanta. We're pointing it down, did he say Vaki? If he can find his luggage. He sent his luggage FedEx and he took the airplane. People hear that, so I'm like, oh, I can send money FedEx, like you can't have it delivered yet. You can't find his luggage. So luggage gets lost, I don't care how you send it. And we have also, man, my brain just switched. I want to say Andre, not Andre. Say your name again, Prabhu. Mr. Wow, yes.
Hello. I'm Andre. Yeah.
Andre, he's from Russia. He's the star of the Circle du Soleil. He's a Krishna. If you go there, you can see Mr. Wow. So Krishna's everywhere. Krishna devotees everywhere. This so happened today is his day off. This one day they don't perform, so he's able to come for Govardhan. I'll keep it short because I know everybody has to work tomorrow, except for us have to be at office. And we have a lot of celebrations. So this festival, of course, sometimes that always comes to my mind. Why do we celebrate Govardhan Puja? There's so many festivals, isn't there? We don't celebrate really Rasa dance and so many things. But one conclusion was because it is such an encompassing festival, activity. Krishna Lifting Govardhan Hill. So many, it involves so much high emotion. You know? So many rasas are involved. Everybody's involved. Even Indra's involved. He's the mixed devotee, he's not pure devotee. That's why he had that pastime, because he's pride, right? So, as we know, we're also very fortunate in that somehow or another, only 5,000 years ago, the original personality of Godhead and his intimate pastimes were brought down to this planet so that he can captivate us. As I mentioned so many times before, this only happens once in a day of Brahma. That's like 4 billion years. Once every 4 billion years. Otherwise, nobody knows. Nobody knows. Right? We take birth and through our ordinary mental speculation, if one is intelligent, he should be able to conclude that what? I am not this body. You don't need Bhagavad Gita to know that. If you just, he says, Dhira Statra, if you're just a little sober, Dhira, and you think, everybody takes biology class, right? What do they tell you? It describes how nice how you're not the body, but nobody connects the dots. Okay. Everything is changing. A little more sober, you can see everything is being controlled. That doesn't take any scripture to tell you that. And the sun, the moon rising so nice. So that's just intelligence. In Kali Yuga, intelligence is lost, pretty much. But now, who am I, and who is it that's controlling that? That has to be revealed. So a fortunate person, next, what happens? He comes in contact with a sadhu, someone who knows something, at least the Vedas, right? From the Vedas, what's the most you can understand? At least you can understand Narayan. You can be in awe, reverence. Oh, God is so great. I am so small. Narayan is so opulent. And when you see someone opulent, what do you want to do? You want to serve. So servitorship, of course, is not so intimate, but it's because it's mixed with the awe and so many things that are there. But as we know, we're very fortunate in that revealed to us is that beyond that, there's even a more intimate emotions. You can experience friendship, which is actually more difficult than being a servant. Easy to go to work. Now try to be someone's friend. It's very risky. To be friends. Most friendships don't work. Oh, one more person to welcome too. This is Mr. Gao. Sender? He's coming from China. He's in Mayapur. He's here on a trade show for his business. They manufacture big air conditioning units, so he goes around the world. So someone, Krishna arranged for him to be here. Thank you for coming. What to speak, the next relationship is you want to be mother, father, even more difficult. More service. And you try to become husband or wife, almost impossible, huh? Everything you do is wrong all the time. And then you become a lover, that's even greater. So Krishna comes, all these things are coming from him. So he shows us. And therefore he's come. So in the Govardhan Samhita, it describes that how Krishna, it's not a, he says, he's coming constantly, but Krishna's not like that. It's not scheduled appearance. It's spontaneous, kind of like our temple, spontaneous honey. Oh, there's a festival tomorrow? Okay, let's do something. So with Radharani, he's reminded him, oh, let us go down to the earth planet and display our pastimes. She goes, you just wait a minute. It's an intimate relationship. No, I don't think so. I'm not going unless these conditions are met. I want Jamuna River there. I want Vraj there. And I want Govardhan Hill. She couldn't just say, yes, okay, whatever you say. So Krishna told her, oh, they're already down there. So Govardhan is actually very unique and very special because the relationship between Radha and Krishna is most, I can't think of the word, it's a secret. Actually, everyone doesn't know. In fact, they're just, Radharani is a chaste lady and Krishna's a young boy, so they don't mix publicly. So therefore Govardhan serves such a big function for them because there's so many caves, there's so many fruits and vegetables, so many places for them to have their pastimes. So this word Govardhan actually translates into two meanings. Who knows one of the meanings? Go means what? Cows, right? And Vardhana means to nourish. The one who nourishes the cows, Govardhan, because the cows, right, walk on the hill, they're eating the grass, and so much water is there. And then another meaning of go is what else? Senses, like Goswami. And Vardhana, in that sense, when you talk about the senses, means to increase. So Govardhan means that which increases the senses in their attraction to Krishna. So these are a couple of meanings of Govardhan. So Giriraj's descent also, when these pastimes occur, they're not, Krishna does something that's very extraordinary, isn't it? Just the matter of fact, as we mentioned, this is the Kartik Damodar referring to Krishna as a small boy. When he's a small boy, he's unrecognizable. Nobody knows he's the Supreme Person of God. He is the perfect boy. You can't tell that he's God. So Giriraj, when he comes down also, he takes birth as the son of Dronacharya. He's the king of the mountain. And the pastime of his coming to Govardhan is that the Satya Yuga. This Pasyatya Muni, he was traveling one day and he came across, he saw Govardhan. Govardhan is very beautiful. Very beautiful. How many people have been to Govardhan Hill? How many people want to go to Govardhan Hill? Who wants to go? You know what I mean? Govardhan? Yes. Yes? Okay. So, being a great Muni, he asked Dronacharya, he says, let me take your son, because in my place in Varsana where he lived, he said, there's no hills or mountains at all. And of course, Dronacharya is very attached to Govardhan. He's not different than Krishna, actually. And Govardhan, Giriraj, being very attentive to his father, immediately he says, let me relieve him. Because if his father says no, most of these munis, what happens? They get angry, what happens? You get cursed, don't you? So immediately he volunteered, Father, let me go. I'll go with them. And so with a heavy heart, he let him take Giriraj. But Giriraj, he had another trick. He says, I'll go with you, but under one condition. Who knows what that condition is?
So whenever you place me, I will be here.
Wherever you put, if you put me down, I'm never going to move again. So you cannot put me down. So he said, okay, what's the problem? Oh, great movie. So off he goes. And as he's going, he's coming over Vraj. So this pastime is told a number of different ways, but the most popular way is somehow or another, because the lead is for him to be in Vrindavan. So it says Krishna, and the super soul, he made the Muni have the urge to have to go to the bathroom. So he decided he put him down. And when he came back, he couldn't pick him up. He tried and tried, but he couldn't pick him up. And then because he's a Muni, he realized, oh, you tricked me. He became angry. So he cursed him. Giriraj. And he says, every day you will be reduced by 1 sesame seed size. So Giriraj at that time, he was about 8 miles high, very tall. So if you go to Govardhan now, he's about 80 feet. So it mentions that by the end of Kali Yuga, of course, he's gone. So there's a few themes within this Leela of Govardhan Puja, of the lifting of Govardhan. As we mentioned, Krishna, he came to display his pastimes. That's his main purpose. Because generally Vishnu, he does all these other things, establishing religion and all these things. But Krishna wanted to, in order to establish this pure devotion, he had to break people from ritualistic ceremonies. Isn't it? Because we're in the material world, and we all have struggling with the modes of material nature, aren't we? So many responsibilities, so many worries. So we know, well, let me approach Krishna, God. Maybe he can make my life a little easier. So we want to engage. We want something. This is religion. I want something. But if you want Krishna, you have to not want anything but that devotional service. So he wanted to get people to give up these ritualistic ceremonies, in that he established exclusive devotion to him, especially in the mood of Vrindavan. And then also, if you want to serve, what's another problem we have serving? To serve means you have to be selfless. The more selfless you are, not just selfless, but we are wanting for Krishna. Selflessness is the beginning of it. So you have to give up your pride. Pride keeps us from being selfless. If we're thinking, I need, I want, maybe coming down to respect, that's the final false ego. I am great. That's the final one that has to be broken. We have so many others above that, you don't even really know that one yet. But as you purify them, that one becomes more manifest. So Indra was very proud. So Krishna wants to break that pride. And again, of course, he wants to establish that there's no need to worship demigods, even if they're angry. You just worship me. So these three things are the main idea behind this pastime of lifting Govardhan Hill. So it is very interesting because when it begins, who knows when it begins? What was the pastime before that?
Worshipping.
It was a pastime of breaking pride. the Brahmins. Remember where he sent the boys to ask for something to eat? If you notice, Krishna, he didn't send them at a time when they were finished. When did he send them? In the middle of the jugga. Yeah, what are you talking about? We haven't finished our jugga yet. You can't ask for anything now. I don't care what Krishna is asking for. The rules say. But they forgot. I'm the Bhokta. I'm the enjoyer. So if I say give it to me now, give it to me now. Not afterwards. So that was the first pastime of breaking pride, you know. But they were mostly karma kanya, you know, this kind of Brahmins, not worshiping for pure devotion. So when they came back, they saw that the father and the villagers were preparing this worship of Indra. Because if you go to the villages, everybody has some kind of ritualistic ceremony to perform, isn't it? No matter where, every country, everywhere you go. You go to, in the middle of the Arizona desert, the Indians are doing something. I was in Africa for about 3 years, and they do something, and it gets results. I mean, you can think, oh, what is this? It's not Vedic. But they get some results from performing those rituals. I won't tell that story how I got a realization of that, but I was shocked, you know. I said, oh, it's all bogus, because it's not Vedic. So there's all kind of rituals out there. So to fulfill these three purposes, he decided to disrupt this Indra puja. And that Indra puja again, of course, because the reasoning was that, well, Indra's providing the rains. Without rain, what happens? No grains, right? There's no rice, there's no anything. So, with grains, then what can you do? You can perform religious ceremonies. So, it made perfect sense. So let's do this. So Krishna, he came and he began to talk his atheistic philosophy about how everything just happens by karma. It's described that there's actually an atheistic philosophy that accepts reincarnation, that there is karma, but there's no God, there's none of these things. So he began to explain this to them, that it's better we just worship the Govardhan hill, because this is from everything is coming. You know, by your karma, you're going to have these things automatically. What do you need these demigods for? And out of love for Krishna, because they love Krishna so much, what did they do? They tried to satisfy Krishna. All the parents have that experience, don't you? Sometimes your child will ask for something a little strange, but oh, they want it so badly. Let me just do it for them. Isn't it? So, of course, these residents of Vrindavan are in pure love of Godhead. Therefore, they decided, okay, let us do this Govardhan puja now, and tomorrow we'll do your festival. It's like, no, Father, let us do it now. Let us not wait, let's do it now. Okay, let's do it. So they took all the ingredients, and Krishna described everything, what to do, how to offer food to the hill, how to circumambulate Govardhan, and the puja went on, and of course Indra, he's accustomed to getting his worship. He's a demigod, he likes to be worshipped. And you remember when Hiranyakasipu, when he took over the universe, it was the first thing he stopped. No more jagas for the demigods. Finished. And they began to dry up, as a matter of fact. But he was so powerful, nobody could challenge him. So they go to Vishnu and pray, please, we're dying here. We need some jagat. You have to stop him. So Indra became angry, very angry. And actually I got a few quotes here that I wrote down about This is Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti. He's one of the acharyas in our line. We see on the altar Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Jagannath Das Babaji. And the acharya Jagannath Das Babaji is Vishwanath Chakravarti. And in his purport he writes about how Indra, he was so angry, he goes, this Krishna is a talkative boy. He's speaking so many audacious arguments in the line of Kama Mimamsa. And he said he doesn't even believe in these arguments, but yet he's saying them all. He said he's foolish, he's disrespectful, and he speaks so boldly. And he's ignorant, because he's a child. And he's so ignorant, all he can do is take care of cows. His pride, he's so angry. Actually, he kind of knows who Krishna is. You know? Even anyway, we'll come to that point. So he says, although I'm a demigod, they neglect my honor. So now I'm offended. So it mentions that when one becomes offended, what happens? Anger comes. When anger comes, everything's bewildered. You make all kinds of dumb mistakes. So out of anger, he said, that's it. He said, I'm going to teach him a lesson. I'm going to teach everyone a lesson. I'm going to destroy Vrindavan. And because he knows someone another, this is not just an ordinary boy. He must be a little wary. He must be powerful. So he doesn't send the regular clouds, like when we have the hurricanes in America. He didn't use those clouds. He sent the clouds which can destroy the entire earth planet. And these clouds also, they're devotees. They only come out, I can't remember the time period when they come out. They were afraid. They didn't want to go. Because they weren't angry. They know, wait a minute, I think this might be the Supreme Person. Yeah, come on, what are you doing here? But they're not going to challenge him. And to give them courage, he says, don't worry, I'm coming with you also. And so they went, and they began to try to devastate Vrindavan. It's described that the water, when it's falling from the sky, how many people have been in very heavy rainfall? Little scary, isn't it? Well, imagine, pillars of water falling on you. The size of a pillar coming down off the sky. Water like this was falling from the sky. And so the residents, immediately they began to think of Krishna. And actually, this is a very nice comment that Vishwanath Chakravarti writes here about this. How the residents, they actually pray to Narayan. Because they don't know Krishna, they don't see Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's just beautiful little boy, or he's my son. So it says here how the coward men and women address Lord Krishna. It said, O most fortunate one, please deliver the cows from the wrath of Indra. O Lord, you are so affectionate to your devotees. Please save us also. So Vishwanath Chakravarti, he makes a comment. He said, remembering the prediction of Garga Muni. Who is Garga Muni? He's the one, he did the astrological chart when Krishna was born, right? So remembering Garga Muni, he said, by his grace, Krishna, you will easily cross beyond all difficulties. So the Vrajavasis, they were confident that at such time of danger that Lord Narayan would empower Krishna. This is what they're thinking. Oh, Narayan will empower Krishna. Not that Krishna is God. So even when he lifts the hill, oh, that was Narayan. He just gave him the power to do it. So they're thinking like that. They have such love for Krishna, they never see him as God, ever. Because you would think once he picks the hill up, oh my, he must be God. Has to fall down, right? Oh, that's Narayan. He just empowered. So, finally at one point, as we know, Krishna, he goes the 8-mile mountain, and somehow or another, he lifts Govardhan. How do you lift up a mountain? Yeah, I'm amazed when they pick some of these buildings up and move them. You know, they can do that. Sometimes they find historic houses and they'll just, somehow or another, they lift that thing up and take it to another place. Govardhan Hill is 8 miles high. And Krishna, of course, he lifts it, they say with the left hand, because he's right-handed, so left hand is the weakest arm. And he lifts it with the little finger. The little finger is the weakest finger, isn't it? And he picks it up, and he has everyone come under it. But they mention that there are so many residents that how did they all fit under there? But Giriraj, he's also pure devotee of Krishna. So he expanded himself 32 miles wide. And he was so tall that when he lifted him up, that he was above the clouds. The clouds couldn't even strike him anymore. So all the animals on Govardhan were above the clouds. Like you've been on the airplane, right? When they fly over the storm. You know, below is who knows what's going on, but you have sunshine. So then of course we know 7 days, 7 nights, they're all under. And because they're so absorbed in Krishna, it mentions that they don't experience any hunger, any sleep, any thirst, or anything. As a matter of fact, as I mentioned, there's pillars of water falling. You'd be surprised to know nobody got wet. Did you know that? It mentions by Vishwanath Chakravarti, he reveals that the reason they didn't get wet is Krishna has a special Yogamaya potency named Samhariki. And that potency immediately dried up all the water when it fell. So it didn't flood or anything. Here's another comment he makes about not being hungry or no flooding. Vishwanath Chakravarti. He said, it should be understood that Krishna stood directly facing everyone. So they're all in front of him. By continuously drinking the nectar of the beauty and sweetness of Krishna, the Rajavasis felt no hunger, thirst, or fatigue. And Sri Krishna, by seeing the beautiful forms of his beloved gopis, also forgot about eating, drinking, and sleeping. The 7 days of continuous rain from the Samavataka clouds failed to flood the district of Mathura because of the Supreme Lord by his inconceivable potencies. So in this way, they passed those 7 days. So then finally, Indra, of course, when he sees this great feat, what happens? When you've been defeated, when you really get beat down, right? You see some of these lopsided football games, you get very humble. So that's why Krishna has to smash us and get humble. And you get humble, now you can become devotion, then the devotion will come out. So then he realized, uh-oh, I think I made a mistake. This little boy, he's the supreme personality of Godhead. So immediately, he goes to Lord Brahma. Actually, he goes to Surabi. She came, because she's the earth planet. And they approached Lord Brahma. What should we do? Because Brahma, of course, everything comes from Brahma. When they approached Lord Brahma, he felt embarrassed also because he also made an offense, didn't he? What did he do? Stole those cowherd boys, didn't he? Because he said, how's this little boy God? I can't believe this. Let me do some tests. So he instructed them what to do. To go down and to offer prayers. And it mentions that, a matter of fact, at one point, Indra was embarrassed, so he's waiting when Krishna was alone. So after Krishna put the hill down, he went back to see Govardhan, because he wanted to see if he had been, damaged from all the striking of the Samavataka clouds. And when he gets to the base of Govardhan, and he's alone, then Indra and Surabi come down. And he begins to offer so many prayers to Krishna. To summarize those prayers, Vishwanath Chakravarti mentions that. He says these prayers that were offered by Indra, he said they were not completely pure-hearted. Did you ever think about that? Because he makes it, oh, I'm so fallen, you're so great, please forgive me. But they were not pure. He said, why? Because he said Indra, he was exhibiting humility in order to save himself. And it became apparent why. Because what happened next? Next time what happened with Indra and Krishna. Who remembers? Parijata flower. Remember Indra asked Krishna, oh, this Banasura is making so much problems, nobody can defeat him. Please, go take care of this demon Banasura. So when he's getting ready to go, his wife, Satyabhama, she said, I want to come with you too. So they jump on the back of Garuda, he kills Banasura, he goes up to see Indra, and while he's there, Indra says, oh, thank you, you're so wonderful, Krishna, thank you. And Satyabhama remembers how the other wives had a Parijata flower. Parijata is only on Indra's planet, no place else. But he let one flower come down, so she decided, I want a whole tree. I don't want a flower. And Indra's pride came back. What? You can't take that tree. I'm the only one that has it in the whole universe. Wife. Gotta make the wife happy. No. See, I'll forget you. He just took the thing, right? And then what happened? Indra attacked him. Can you imagine? He just helped him and he still attacks him again. So the pride was not totally destroyed. So pride is very difficult to get over. But we're fortunate. For us, we just do what? What do we have to do? What's the easiest way? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. His holy name is so powerful that even if you chant with the offense, it will purify you. Maybe not as quickly, but it will purify you. So this is the special benediction in Kali Yuga. As a matter of fact, Lord Brahma, he takes birth as who? Haridas Thakur, the Namacharya. Some say why? Because he offended Krishna, so he had to be humbled. So he became Haridas Thakur and he got beaten in the marketplace. And he humbly accepted it. Why are you doing this to me, Krishna? So, this shows how to be humble. Trinadapi, Sunichena, Tarodapi, Sarishina, Amanena, Amanena, Kirtanena. You want to chant the holy name all the time?
Yes.
You have to do those things. You have to focus on that. Actually, this is one more point here. I'm almost finished here. Actually, Krishna talks, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti talks about this. He says, how can a devotee remove his pride? He said, with intelligence. And he has a conversation here with this prayer. Vishwanath Chakravarti does this in his purpose. And he says, Krishna and Indra might have had the following conversation. They might have had. So Krishna says, but Indra, how is it possible for my devotee to do this? You see? To try to destroy the residents of Vrindavan, he tried to kill them. He was so angry. So how can my devotee do this? So Indra says, I became angry when my worship was stopped. He was honest. So Krishna says, though I'm your master and I stopped your worship, I cannot believe that my servant would do such a thing. So Indra replies, anything is possible for one who is falsely proud. Then Krishna says, though pride may somehow arise in my devotee, he will remove it with intelligence. So intelligence means you think Trinadapi, Sudichina, all those things. You just have to, one of the early disciples of Prabhupada, Gargamuni, when they first met Prabhupada, he was just Swamiji. Right? So as some of you know the pastimes of how Prabhupada would stand in line to use the bathroom. Can you imagine that? Even in India, if there's an old person standing in line, what do? You let them go first. In America, no, you get in line with them. So gradually, as they got purified from chanting Hare Krishna, they started paying obeisances. But Gargamuni wouldn't do it. He says like this, I just couldn't do it. Why should I bow down? You know, Prabhupada, Ujjayi, Vishnu Parama, everybody's down. So he felt a little self-conscious at one point. When Prabhupada came up, he asked him questions, and he says, Prabhupada, I want to do things properly, but I don't want to be artificial. So, because he's thinking he's going to get relief. He says, so I don't like to bow down because I don't really feel like I should. What should I do? He said, bow down anyway. And the feelings will come afterwards. So you have to act on your intelligence. And then gradually, this is how it works. Like we're chanting Hare Krishna for so many reasons, right? We're all mixed. Well, at least I'm mixed. I can't say about anybody else, but mixed. But you do it anyway. Why? Because Guru said do it. And then gradually, you see, everyone has that experience, right? You get realizations, don't you? As time goes on, you get realizations. You can't say you don't. You do it. And you go, man, I can't believe I used to think like that. I can't believe I used to. So you just keep going with your intelligence until we arrive at pure devotion. And actually, if you're very humble, someone asked Gaur Govinda Maharaj once, how do you know when you achieve Krishna praying? How do you know? He said, you'll never know. Because the person who has Krishna praying, he thinks he doesn't love Krishna. So you'll never know. But once pride, yeah, I love Krishna. Did you see? So, anyway, this Govardhan puja was complete, and those purposes were done by Krishna. And then, of course, later on, we know Madhavinda Puri is another acharya who is the spiritual master of, who knows? Nityananda, Advaita, and who else?
Ishwarpuri.
Ishwarpuri. That was a question at the picnic. You know, at the picnic. So. And Ishwarpuri, Lord Chaitanya, so Madhavinda Puri, same time at Govardhan Hill, visiting. And somehow or another, he re-established the Anakut, his worship of Govardhan, because Krishna came to him as a little boy. Right? In his dream, I'm so hot and hungry, you please come get me. Feed me, feed me, feed me, more and more and more and more and more and more. And everybody was feeding. Still, I'm still hot, go get sandalwood. And so many pastimes came from Madhavinda Puri. So he introduced, re-established this love and separation, this Madhurya love. He brought into the movement. So, anyway, this is a very important day. Krishna established his worship of Govardhan. And we're very fortunate that we get to participate into it. Sometimes we have very elaborate, remember the one year we had clouds up here in Draw and so many things. So this year's a little modest, but the enthusiasm can still be the same. You know? And New Vrindavan too, they have a nice setup because they have a very tall temple. And they have, when Kirtananda established very elaborate things, they have these little pulleys. So they actually, you know, they build in Indra, the elephants, and you can make them move. There's a huge thing that goes on in there. I mean, they put figures of colored boys, and the heel is a big heel floating. And they balance it just enough for Krishna's high enough, and like that. And you can circumnavigate. So if you get a chance, you have to go to New Vrindavan, you can see that very elaborate. They used to bring cows inside, too. But one year, they brought a cow and he stepped on someone's toe. He cut the toe off. No more cow. They had elephant too. They used to have an elephant. They were so opulent. And the elephant would come in the temple and he'd bow down. And they put the DVDs on the elephant back. Just like in Mayapur, they would have parikrama. They were doing elephant parikrama before Mayapur. Govardhan Dham ki. Panyati Dham ki. Giraj Govardhan ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Lord Premanandi. So we're going to do very quickly the Davanastikam. We'll have multiple people, not one by one, because we'll never get out of here. If we do one by one, if you don't want to go to work tomorrow, then do one by one. We'll be here all night. So I think we should move it over here. Let them get a bunch, and then just like in Mayapur, everybody's just off. Okay? So, your meeting center? Sure. Then after that, someone another just follow along. We'll bring Govardhan in and do all those other things. And Mahapazan and keep.
Oh,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Govardhan Mataji, if you are here, please come and do the arati. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Okay, one more time before the arati starts, we're gonna pray to Govardhan. Please, with your whole hearted, please repeat these prayers, okay? Namo Girirajaya Govardhanaya Namo Namaha Ashesha Klesha Nashanaya Paramananda Daine Namo Girirajaya Govardhanaya Namo Namaha Ashesha Klesha Nashanaya Paramananda Daine Namo Girirajaya Govardhanaya Namo Namaha Ashesha Klesha Nashanaya Paramananda Daine Jai Giriraj Govardhan ki Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare
Shila Prabhupada ki! And let the good advice now in the key. Praise the whole Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Go Bhakti the key. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Prabhu Nityananda Giri Govardhan ki! Shri Vrindavan ki! Bhakti Jagannath Purinam ki! Chotri Vikanamai ki! Chotri Viki! Bhakti Devi ki! Harinam Sankirtan Chakti ki! Samalaya Bhakti Vrinda ki! All glory to the Son of the audience. All glory to the Son of the audience. All glory to the audience. All glory to the Shri Guru Shri Garanga.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Jai Giriraj Govardhan ki. Jai Giriraj Maharaj ki. So I'd like to call upon Sachi Pradhan Gaur Prabhu and family to please come forward. So please, if you have it, please bring it to bring it to me, okay? You can bring it to me or you can give it to Kamalakshi Mataji. So Haridas, seven. Okay, he's 7 years old now. He's turning into 7. And now you're going to chant happy birthday to Haridas. So let's chant. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Haridas. Happy birthday to you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Mom and dad to come together and cut the cake. Hare Krishna. So now we'll have prasadam, and prasadam is served outside. Everyone please take as much of prasadam you can. There is a lot of prasadam outside. So please go outside and there is more prasadam. Of October, there is a Prabhupada Disappearance Day. So we request all of you to please come. The program will begin around 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. So you please all come. Hare Krishna.
Come closer first. Haridas, smile.
Haribo! Happy birthday!